it's tremendous promotion. It's tremendous promotion for something.
Then he shouldn't do it. But if he's gonna sign up, I don't have to be the one to lose. And bro, it's me and Mike hug after.
Looks like the Paul brothers are at it again, this time taking their rivalry to a whole new level. The idea of a Jake Paul versus Logan Paul fight in March 2025 is certainly going to grab attention. After all the controversy and spectacle of their previous fights, it's no surprise they're continuing to make waves. Do you think this is going to live up to the hype? Or are they just cashing in on the drama?
Who are you fighting next? Me?
Yeah, I'll fight you.
You will fight me?
Why not? You're tiny.
I feel like ruining my little brother's boxing career. So
It's wild, right? This fight seems like it's more about the spectacle than actual competition at this point. When you look at the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's hard not to feel like the whole thing is just an ethical dumpster fire. And now, to add fuel to the fire, they've switched platforms to Max for the live broadcast on March 27th. It's like they're turning this family feud into an even bigger reality show. Do you think people will still tune in for the drama? Or is it just getting too ridiculous?
27th on Max, it's Jake Paul versus Logan Paul.
It's all part of a well-orchestrated plan, isn't it? Logan and Jake may be playing a game of family drama for cash, but it's clear they're not the only ones reaping the rewards. Max is set to score huge with this event. It's the perfect storm of controversy, competition, and streaming hype. The fight isn't just about two brothers duking it out. It's about creating an event that'll pull in viewers, generate buzz, and make Max a major player in the live streaming space. If this succeeds, expect other platforms to scramble to find their own attention-grabbing events. Exactly. This whole situation has the Paul brothers' marketing circus written all over it. It's not just a fight. It's a full-blown spectacle designed to grab attention and cash in on the drama. Every move is calculated, from the partnership with Max to the timing of the event. They know exactly how to stir up controversy and keep everyone talking. It's less about the actual fight and more about creating an unforgettable marketing moment. Do you think it's just smart business, or does it cross the line into pure exploitation?
I think we can all decipher that it isn't a fight. The fact that it's on a Thursday, the fact that all it says is HBO Max, there's no information on where it would take place. Like, you're just going to drop a poster and that's how we're going to announce that a boxing match is happening?
It's all a masterclass in building anticipation through pure ambiguity. The lack of concrete details only fuels the buzz and gets people talking. The more questions people have, the more they'll speculate, and that speculation spreads across social media like wildfire. Whether it's a boxing match, MMA, or something completely bizarre, it doesn't matter because the hype is already growing. The chaos, the confusion, and the what's going to happen next factor are exactly what they're banking on. The question is, will people fall for it, or has this marketing stunt reached the point where it's too obvious?
I think we can all decipher that it isn't a fight.
ESPN sources are already throwing shade, and honestly, it's starting to look like this might not even be a legit fight. Instead, it could turn into some half-baked reality series meant to keep fans guessing, waiting for a big reveal that never actually comes. Let's be real. The Paul brothers don't sell fights, they sell drama. They've mastered the art of stirring up controversy, and what's messier than two millionaire brothers pretending to punch each other for clout? It's all about keeping the chaos alive and feeding off the drama to draw in the audience.
Who are you fighting next?
Everybody.
Me?
Yeah, I'll fight you.
You will fight me?
Why not? You're fucking tiny.
I'm taller than you.
You're still.
And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. The recent Jake Paul fight with Mike Tyson. That whole Netflix event broke records, but was it real? A lot of people think it was a perfectly scripted performance designed to make Jake look like an unstoppable force. Now, they're just recycling the exact same formula. Swap out Tyson for Logan, swap out Netflix for Max, rinse and repeat. But here's the real kicker. Why now? If these two ever really wanted to fight, why didn't they do it years ago when their supposed beef was at its peak? Why wait until now to turn it into this big production? Something doesn't add up.
I feel like ruining my little brother's boxing career would be so bad. And me.
The answer is simple. There was no money in it back then. Now, they've built enough hype, faked enough rivalries, and gotten the internet so hooked on their antics that people will buy into whatever they sell. This isn't about proving anything. It's about milking their brand for every last penny. And honestly, at this point, it doesn't even matter if the fight is real. They've already won. They know the internet eats this stuff up, whether people believe it or not. Hate watchers, superfans, skeptics, it's all the same to them. The Paul brothers have mastered the art of turning internet noise into dollar signs. And somehow, we keep falling for it every time.
Way on the Misfits card, KSI's event promoted the fuck out of your fight against Nate Diaz. The Zone was not allowed to promote the Prime card? That's ridiculous. Whose ass was that? It was Nikisa's dude. Nikisa's on your team. He's not on Team Paul. He's on Team Jake.
And the fact that people are still questioning the authenticity of these events just shows how good the Paul brothers are at pulling off these spectacle-driven fights. That Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event was so obviously staged, yet it still managed to pull in millions of viewers, proving that it doesn't matter if the fight was real or not. The hype, the drama, and the over-the-top promotion were enough to keep people talking long after the final bell. It's like they've cracked the code for keeping the internet's attention, whether it's through legitimate competition or just a masterclass in manipulation. Major analysts, former boxers, and millions of fans were all side-eyeing the whole thing, watching replays in slow motion, trying to make sense of what they just witnessed. Let's be real, something definitely felt off. Whether it was the way the fight played out or the over-the-top theatrics, everyone could sense that it wasn't as legitimate as it was being sold.
Mike Tyson just made a bag off of this Jake Paul fight. And I speak for everybody when I say that this was the most rigged fight I've ever seen.
We're talking about Mike Tyson, a 58-year-old man who hadn't fought professionally in 2 decades, stepping into the ring against a prime 28-year-old Jake Paul. And somehow, people were supposed to believe this was a fair fight. Tyson, the same guy who used to annihilate opponents before the audience could even settle into their seats, was suddenly struggling to land a clean shot. And then, just as Jake needed his big moment, Tyson magically ran out of gas. If that doesn't scream Hollywood script, I don't know what does.
Mike Tyson really went in there, threw about 4 or 5 jabs and said, all right, I'm done. I just got the bag and I don't even care what happened.
Sure, the numbers were massive. 65 million concurrent viewers. Netflix's biggest live streaming event ever, and a revenue pull of $18 million in Texas alone. But let's not pretend those numbers automatically equal legitimacy. WWE sells out stadiums too, and we all know how that works. Tyson's punches were slower than usual. His movement looked stiff and unnatural. And let's be brutally honest. If this had been the 1995 version of Tyson, Jake wouldn't have lasted longer than a microwave timer. So how does Jake handle the backlash? By pulling the oldest trick in the book, distraction. He suddenly announces a fight against his own brother, using the logic. If you thought my fight with Tyson was fake, well, I definitely wouldn't rig a fight with Logan, right? That's classic reverse psychology that casual fans fall for every time. It's a clever way to shift the narrative and keep the hype machine running.
What are you saying to the feedback on the fight that you're getting?
I'm not saying anything.
Nothing.
I don't need to say anything. You know, the people who understand the greatness of it and, you know, have their own lives and are happy with themselves, they're going to just show respect and show praise. It's the haters who are jealous and don't have anything going on in their sad and miserable lives, and they want to bring.
But here's the thing. Why does Jake even feel the need to prove his fights are real in the first place? If the Tyson fight wasn't a staged event, why not just ignore the critics instead of scrambling to stage a family boxing match to regain credibility? This isn't even new behavior. The Paul brothers have been playing this game for years, constantly stirring up drama and controversy to keep their names in the spotlight.
What are you here to tell us? Yeah. You keep talking about shooting, dude. That's how we were going to get this right down.
Back in 2022, Logan made a huge spectacle about wanting to fight Conor McGregor. He knew McGregor wouldn't take him seriously, but that wasn't the point. The goal was to generate headlines and milk engagement. Same thing with Jake and Andrew Tate. Months of social media drama, dramatic call-outs, endless back and forths, and then nothing actually happened. It's all about keeping the buzz going. even if it doesn't lead to anything real.
Did you think the best course of action was for that?
You were giving all this staying and this staying and that. Yeah, control it to me to yourself. But don't be giving all this making stupid.
I didn't hear the last 5 seconds.
I was in the air for a
I didn't hear
second.
the-
Yes, bring it home for me.
It's 8 a.m. How?
This is the real deal, yeah? In front of you, you know that.
And that's the formula. Start fake controversy, let the internet explode, then quietly move on once the hype dies down. The McGregor and Tate fights were never meant to happen. They were just stepping stones in the Paul brothers' never-ending marketing playbook. But now, the internet's had enough of their nonsense. This so-called fight isn't fooling anyone. From sports analysts and boxers to MMA fighters and even other YouTubers, the reaction has been brutal. Nobody's buying it anymore.
I'm okay with fighting my brother because I wouldn't have to be the one that dealt with losing. So, seriously. So, like, emotionally, if that would scar him, then he shouldn't do it. But if he's gonna sign up, I don't have to be the one to lose. And bro, it's like me and Mike hug after.
And it's not just random Twitter trolls calling it out. Actual legends of combat sports are openly roasting this entire stunt. MMA fighters and professional boxers are calling it the most obvious money grab in sports history, demanding to know why Jake refuses to fight real competition. The criticism is coming from all angles, and it's getting harder for the Paul brothers to pretend this is anything more than a cash grab.
I think they get a bad rap. They do a lot of the stuff for the clout and the camera. I'll watch.
And that's a fair question. Jake built his reputation on fighting retired UFC fighters who were already checked out of the game. Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz. Now, instead of finally facing a real boxer, he's going up against his own brother. That's not competition. That's content creation disguised as a boxing match.
It's this.
And people see right through it. When fighters, analysts, and fans all agree on something that tells you everything you need to know. This isn't about settling some long-running sibling rivalry. It's about cashing in while they still can. The hype around influencer boxing is dying, and the Paul brothers know it. This fight isn't about proving who's the better boxer. It's about milking one last massive payday before people finally stop caring. But here's where it gets interesting. Even when everyone calls them out, they still win. They thrive on controversy. Hate watching still counts as a view. People tweeting about how ridiculous this fight is, that's just free advertising. The more the internet trashes it, the more attention it gets, the more people tune in, and the more money they make. Even with Jake Paul hyping it up, the fight is still shrouded in doubt. Subscribe to see how it all unfolds.